Hi everyone, and welcome to my 10 questions with video series where I interview working virtual assistants to find out more about their business. Question one, who are you? Tell me about your business.
Hiya, I am Martha, and my business is called Any Other Business, which is the last agenda item on a meeting, usually, and it's also my children's initials, AOB. I'm based in North East London, and I started my business in January 2024. So I've been in business for 14 months, and I mainly work in the education arena, so consultants, coaches, charities, and a marketing agency. I have four clients currently and two clients with associates. And I do all sorts. I do inbox management, calendar, content creation, data cleaning, proofreading, scheduling social media, organizing, just all of the general VA things that you would expect. So I wouldn't say my niche is in what I do, but my niche is sort of in who I support in the education sphere.
Love it. I love the name of your business and why, and the fact that it's your
Crazy.
children's initials as well. That's fabulous. Question two, what did you do before you became a virtual assistant? And what happened to decide where you decided to work for yourself?
I was a primary school teacher on and off for 20 years. And I'd always had an interest in IT. I was an IT consultant in schools and in Hackney. I left there in 2021 and did some marketing for schools. I had had a crochet business on the side, teaching people how to crochet. So I had learned lots of skills through that, how to market myself and have a website and build an audience and all those sorts of things. After the marketing in schools, I worked for an ed tech company and then for another tech company, but sadly I was made redundant from both of those. So in December 2023, I remember being on New Year's Eve, sort of wearing a blindfold, playing a game, and it kind of summed up how I felt about the start of the year, completely blindfolded. I didn't know what was ahead of me. But somebody had said, you've got so many skills, why not be a VA? So I decided to give it a go.
Amazing. I like that. That's really, really cool. And so also that you were made redundant like from both places. That's interesting. I've said a couple of times actually my best friend's been made redundant 5 times. And that's something I guess that um when you work for yourself, no one can, it's hard, right? It's not easy, but no one can make you redundant, which is a bonus, I would say. And that makes sense as well, but with the type of clients that you've got now, that was your background and the crochet. So I like crocheting as well. I taught myself with a book on YouTube, and I did teach some people, but just more sort of ad hoc. And yeah, it's brilliant. It's really nice to have a hobby that's not on the internet, like online.
Yeah, it's definitely good for being able to switch off from the world and just get lost in a few calm moments.
Yeah, I like that. And then at the end, you have a blanket or something as well. So it's also very productive. Question three, what was your biggest fear about starting up your business? How did you overcome that?
I know from having a crochet business that unless you have clients, you don't have a business. So my main fear was about getting clients and worrying about how I was going to find people because I was confident in my skills, but knew that I had to be able to get somebody to buy my time in order for me to be able to use those skills. So that was the probably my biggest fear. But I read everything I could on the VA Handbook website and joined the VA Handbookers group and read absolutely everything I could to be a VA and set up. And it was an ex-colleague who booked me first of all and just filled me with confidence.
That's great. I found actually with my trainees that that's usually someone's first client is someone that they worked with or their current boss. So it's quite a common way, I think, of getting into it, and that's great as well because you also know what you're doing. It's not, out of the blue, it's not some random service that you're requested to do.
Yeah, we met actually at the company that we both got made redundant from, and after that, she set up a marketing agency. So when I started to work with her, it was just her. but she obviously needed help, so she booked me. And now she's taken it to 2 employees, and she's got VAs helping her as well. So in sort of the 18 months that since we were made redundant, she's created a whole marketing agency. So it's really nice to have seen her grow up her business, and I've grown my business out of what was quite a stressful and sad time.
Yeah, I've had a lot of trainees that were made redundant, and at first they're quite annoyed, like they're angry, really frustrated because you sort of give your all to a company. Usually, you feel I don't know, people still feel quite loyal to a company, and then when they find out that the company wasn't particularly loyal to them, they're really like, how are they going to manage without me? Let them find out what it's like without me, etc. And then it's like if it's so easily replaceable, so that the fact that both of you have now gone on to be really successful is really kind of like in your face.
Yeah, well, the company folded, so it wasn't as if they sort of singled out people for redundancy. It was, everybody lost their jobs, which, made it
Right, right.
harder.
Oh, that's different. Yeah.
It's different, yeah, but it is really nice to just feel like, because at that time you don't think that, in another 12 months or 18 months, everything's going to be amazing. You're just like, oh God, how am I going to get a job? I need to get paid. I've just bought a car. How am I going to pay for, all these kind of worries and stresses. But I get what's the phrase behind every closed door, there's an opportunity. No, what's the phrase? When one door closes, another door opens.
Yeah, I kind of like the when a door closes, a window opens.
Yeah, just go a different route through life.
Totally different, right? But when it happens, it is quite scary. It's definitely true. You are like, I've got to pay for mortgage. I had what what happens. You need some courage at that point, definitely.
Yeah, we knew we had a few months of sort of a safety net of savings, but quite quickly had to be getting some money through the door.
Yeah. Question four: how has your life changed since you became a virtual assistant?
I was very unhappy and stressed as a teacher, very busy, exhausted, burnt out, and had sort of lost my joy in life. Was too overwhelmed really to live properly. And at that time, I was having health issues. So I was having heart palpitations and my hair was falling out. So lots of sort of physical signs of stress that were really taking their toll on me. And now the opposite is true. I'm in really good health. I have a walk every single day. All my health signs are good. Blood pressure is good. My cholesterol is good. So everything that was kind of like was going wrong, I feel like I've been able to reverse. And as a teacher, I was working sort of 50 to 60 hours a week. And now I do 30 hours a week and I earn more money than when I was a teacher. So it's completely different, really, in terms of my happiness. I'm flexible, so I can take my child to school in the morning. I can see friends when I have my daily walk. Well, just today, actually, my son phoned up to say he's got a tummy ache and could I pick him up from school? So I can just drop everything and just go off and get them if needs be. And I can keep on top of life's admin, the just boring things like the washing or being able to cook dinner, which you take for granted, but having the freedom to be able to do that makes such a big difference to my life. And then this week I had the opportunity to be on the BBC. I had a journalist come round to film me and talk to me about what remote working is like and the benefits of remote working on family life, which is so important to me. I've got 3 children, so it's really important that I'm around for them. And then other opportunities like being in Business Insider magazine, so talking to journalists is something that I wasn't doing when I was a teacher.
No, we actually only kind of knew about that because a lot of people applied to join a VA handbookers group, and we asked them, where did you hear about this group? So we kind of know, where messages are getting across. And it was like Business Insider, Business Insider. So I then went and was like, what's happened in Business Insider? And there you were. And we were like, there's our Martha. Look at her go. It was amazing. So yeah, I was absolutely delighted to see that. That's unusual though, I guess, isn't it? You don't really, a lot of VAs are just not in Business Insiders. That's something that you just went out and contacted them.
It was actually, when I had my crochet business, I was in a Facebook group which connects entrepreneurs and journalists. So journalists could pitch stories and Entrepreneurs could kind of like pitch stories to hopefully get picked up by the media. But I hadn't been in that group for since 2020, 2020, probably 2021. But a journalist saw something that I'd posted about being a stressed out teacher. I've been banging on about it for a while. And from that, she got in touch with me and said that she was running a story about leaving teaching and becoming. I think she was looking for any angle of what profession you'd moved on to, but she was particularly interested to find out that I'd moved on to be a VA, so wanted to ask me about that. So I chatted to her. Yeah, so that was kind of like a historic connection that I'd made. So it's important that what you put out online, it kind of follows you years later. Maybe I need to get back into that group. And then from the Business Insider magazine, that's how I got the BBC journalist. So, and PR is so good for your business in terms of, just reaching a wider audience, but also getting some social proof that, you're a legit person with a legit business and with important, valuable things to say.
Yeah, I love that. That's amazing. So inspiring. Also about the doing the chores. So earlier this afternoon, I just went to the post office, and before, there was no one in there. I think there was one person in front of me because it was the middle of the afternoon, and that you kind of get used to it. You forget that before, when you worked for a company, it was so hard to kind of get an appointment to go and do something. There's a lot of life admin in general. I think even not even just kind of chores or got online things that you have to sort out, that you've got to get on the phone and sort out or get online and sort out. But actual physically going somewhere, going to the supermarket or having an appointment, a dentist appointment, opticians, etc. The fact that I can just book it in the afternoon. I go to IKEA in the afternoon because it's quiet. And my friend was like, "What do you mean?" She has to go in the evening or on Saturday with everybody else. And I was like, "That's when I don't go." You know,
Well,
it
next
is
week I'm
nice to
going
have
to the
that
spa.
flexibility.
I'm going to the spa on Tuesday, and next week on Thursday is my birthday, so I'm going to take the day off. And when I was a teacher, there's no way that I could just be like, yeah, I'm not coming to work today, so I'm going to the spa, or it's my birthday, so I don't want to work. But yeah, I've got the freedom to be able to do that, which is really nice.
So I don't work on my birthday either. I haven't worked on my birthday since I was 17. But when I worked in a job, I had to take that off as holiday. You have to book it off, right? And it comes out of your allowance. I normally go away for like a week. I make a whole thing of it. So yeah, the fact that you don't have to ask anyone, you can just go and do that. And if you wanted to go away, you could as well. A spa, how lovely.
Yeah, a friend has taken me to the spa for my birthday treat, so it's nice.
That's very nice. Let's have a look. So we've got to question 5. What is the most rewarding part of running your own business? I guess it's a lot of those things that we've just talked about.
Yeah, but I think actually I genuinely love doing the job. I love doing my client work. I love working with my clients. And I think when you're a teacher, you're used to helping people. And I think it's in my nature to want to help people. So I like the feeling of knowing that I'm helping them and that they're so valuable. They're so grateful that, and so thankful all of the time. Um, but yeah, I think they really make me feel like an important part of their business. And the one who set up her marketing agency, just always just saying how I've contributed to the growth of the business and all the things that I do. So I think the most rewarding part is just feeling that what I do is important and valuable and helps people.
I think that makes a massive difference. That's come up before in other interviews, actually, where we've said that sometimes it is about the money. You need money, obviously, to, survive. But a lot of it with jobs is feeling that you are valued and that what you do makes a difference somewhere, that you're not just spending your day in a room doing things that are quite pointless. I mean, that's different when you're a teacher because obviously you are educating someone. But for a lot of people in an office, I've had many jobs where I've just sort of thought, what is the point of this? What I'm actually doing all day? It's just nothing. It doesn't mean anything in the big scheme of things. I love that. When someone is grateful and they say thank you, it's the same with me and the trainees when they say, you've changed my life. I can now do all of these wonderful things that you've just mentioned because I did your course. And I'm like, well, obviously they had to buy the course and they had to work through the course. Of course they did. Um, but that makes it worthwhile because it's hard work. It's all it's all hard work. But when somebody's that you made a difference to somebody, it really does make a difference.
Yeah.
Question 6. What do you feel is the most challenging aspect of running a business?
I think especially now it's doing all of the things. So at the minute, obviously I'm doing all the client work and all of my marketing and all the invoicing, the accounting, discovery calls. So there's a lot to do. Um, and as soon as I can get my own VA, I am going to get my own VA to help me do some of those things. And I think sometimes because I'm at home, I might just go and grab my laptop and start doing work on something. If I've got a bit of time, I think, oh, I'll just get on Canva and make some socials. And I think if I didn't work for myself, I probably wouldn't pick up the laptop as often as I do. And I think that I think about it a lot. And I remember watching one of your other interviews and somebody saying that actually it's quite nice having the time to be able to think about things. Like something came up in the VA growth uh, club today about Notion. And all day I've just been thinking, oh, I just want to get on Notion and work out how I can get Zapier to do my social straight from Notion. So I think I'm guilty of thinking about it a lot, but actually because I like it, it's quite nice being able to think about it a lot. Sometimes not 5:30, but yeah, I think about it a lot, and that's probably I need to find ways where I'm not thinking a lot, which is where crochet comes in. And I'm not that good at sitting still and switching off. So next week when I'm off for my birthday, I'm going to try really hard to not pick up my laptop at all, not get drawn into a little Canva rabbit hole of creating pretty things.
I love Canva. Did you see that? I've put up a few things in the group recently, and I'm like, look what I just learned how to do. And especially if you already know how to use Canva, it's not when you would look at the tutorials, you're not kind of like, what are they doing? I'm like, oh yeah, layers. They're in layers, and so I know exactly where they are and where to find the things that they're doing. I saw that Notion. I haven't gone down because I love Notion too. I haven't gone down that Notion rabbit hole, but I might do later. I think too, I always wanted a job that was part of my life, not something that was separate, not like this is me, my real life, and then this is my job, and this is what I do. It made sense to me that, I'm alive, so therefore everything that I do or the activities I do should be part of my life. They are. It's easier for me definitely because I don't have children. So I guess that it's more important for you as well to be able to switch off and go, right now I'm doing mum things.
I have taught them bits and bobs. So I've taught two of them how to use Canva. So my daughter is she's an air cadet, and so she's involved with making some of the socials. So I've been showing them how to use Canva, and she's done some proofreading for me. So she's been a bit involved in the business. And my 12-year-old, I've said to him, if you get good at Canva, I will pay you to do my socials for me. Try and give him a bit of an incentive and showing them that, content creation is actually a genuine way to make money. And as a 12-year-old, he actually could earn some money from me doing it. So it's been really nice that they've been able to see the business grow because they've watched me do it. And, if I sign a new client, I'm like, oh, I signed a new client. So I feel like they're seeing the insides of the job and how it works, and it's teaching them valuable skills about, oh, okay, so that's how you can do a job. That's what you can do. You can help people by doing this, this, and this, and you'll get paid for it. So I think it's been really good for them to be able to see that.
I've had this too, people saying that they wanted to be an inspiration for their children, that they wanted them to see that you could work for yourself, that you could achieve things. And they've been also very proactive in sharing their wins and being open about what it is that they do. And I did this today, and I just got a new client today, and it's invoicing day and things like that, because then they get to see the pride, I guess, that comes with running a business. I also know somebody that their son does all their video editing. They were like, they're all over it. They can do it so quickly.
Yeah, well, my kids did pick up Canva so quickly. He was like, I hadn't really cottoned onto the element timings. And he was like, oh yeah, you just adjust it like this. I'm like, oh, that's so good. You're teaching me stuff about Canva. I literally showed him for half an hour. It's really what you said about sort of living your job. when I was a primary school teacher, the first 10 to 15 years, I absolutely loved it. And it was part of my identity. And I didn't mind giving my all to it because I felt like it was a vocation. And it's only now that it's dawning on me that doing what I'm doing this now, I like having it as a lifestyle. It just fits perfectly. So it's quite nice not thinking I have to separate myself from my job and, you know, I am me and this job is me and it's working out well.
I think one of the things I like is the virtual aspect, the virtual part of virtual assistant. I've been able to do this anywhere. I've written things in hotel in hotels, hotel bars, airport lounges. I've written stuff. You can just put your headphones on, open up your laptop, and just get on with it. And that's nice being able to travel, and you have to have boundaries in there as well, but being able to do it from anywhere. There was obviously teaching you're going into a physical building.
Yeah, I think the remote aspect and the travel aspect will come once my kids go.
Something to look forward to. Question 7. How do you get your clients, Martha?
So the first one was an ex-colleague, and then most of my clients have been through LinkedIn referrals. So people who know me and have referred me on. One was through Instagram, but it's primarily just through LinkedIn and through talking about it.
So when you say LinkedIn, do you mean from posts that you've written or things that have been shared or someone that knew you, a connection?
I think when I was first starting out, I probably had put a post out about this is the new business, this is what I'm doing. And then people had seen those posts and then tagged me. One person had said they were looking for a PA and I got tagged in the post and that turned into a client. So yeah, so at the minute I've really ramped up my marketing since January and it was through posting and then through people who know me commenting or resharing. So it reaches their network is how I've been getting them.
Yeah, not it's networking, isn't it? I talk about marketing a lot, and I'm like, it's just talking to people, and just sometimes you're in front of the person, and other times you are not. You're behind a screen, but it's still people sharing and talking and referring, and it's all networking.
I have joined a local networking group, so we meet monthly. I've only been to two, but it's nice to get out into my local area as well and meet people who, I know some of them for years, and just to be able to say this is what I'm doing now and get them to put me in touch with people. So a little bit of
Yeah,
networking in life as well, but it hasn't led to any clients yet.
I think the social aspect is quite nice as well. Like I know that you're in the growth hub. Have you ever been to any of the co-working? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I go
You
to the
have.
co-working generally once or twice a month, I would say. So I've got to know some of the other women quite well. I really like it. It's nice and sociable. We have a quick chat, catch up with each other. We do that for about 15 minutes. And then we have solid working for 45 minutes. And I tend to save the tasks I don't want to do for then, so that I've got the accountability to say, yeah, I'm going to do this nasty task today. Do it for 45 minutes, have a quick tea break, get back to it and do 45 minutes. So I really like doing the co-working sessions. Also, when I've recruited associates, it's through the Growth Hub.
Yes, I was in a call with someone and they said the same, that they had got work or had given work to everyone. I think there was one person in the call that they hadn't. They were like, you owe me some work. Like we've all swapped work, and we haven't worked with you. Yeah, I really like them. I don't know what it is. There was some sort of magic in co-working. I hadn't done it. And then the first time I did it, I got so much work done. I think because you're not looking at each other, but because you know those people are there, I would I would find myself going like this. And I thought, where are you going? You're going to the fridge, aren't you? You're going to like wander off. You're going to like, go and empty the dishwasher or something. Sit back down. You're not going anywhere. And it was almost like that when I got to something that was a bit hard, I suppose, I'd leave the leave my desk, and the co-working, it like you said, it's that element of accountability where you know that you're supposed to be getting on with some work. I've also really liked the break times when we've asked, like, what are you working on, what are you doing, and the different types of tasks that virtual assistants do is remarkable.
Yeah, and you get to find out, who's doing accounting, who loves doing social media, who doesn't love doing social media. So I've definitely got people on my radar of who I'm going to call upon when I want to be able to outsource. And it's just, it's nice and sociable and chatty. It's nice, it's fun.
Question 8. What do you wish that you had known when you first started out?
I think to trust your gut. I think there were a couple of times early on where I just did things because I thought I should be doing them, but it didn't quite feel right. And then a few months later realized, oh, I should have just trusted my gut and known. Um, I won't go into too much detail because this is going live to the world. But yeah, trust that. I think you do have an instinct, and I thought I haven't been in business long enough to know, but actually you do know. Your gut does know, and trust your gut.
Okay, good answer. Question 9, and again, we have touched on this slightly. How do you handle work-life balance? Do you have a work-life balance even?
I think compared to being a teacher, yes, I definitely have a work-life balance. Obviously my life is still very busy. I still have children, so the balance is kind of out of sync because there's lots of things that I still need to do as a mum. But I've capped my hours, so I haven't gone above 30 hours to make sure that I'm not doing too much. I generally don't have any meetings before 9:30 or after 4 o'clock because I don't want to have to say to the children, shush, be quiet. I have a designated office space, but I don't want to have to tell them. I don't really want to shut the door on them and tell them that I'm busy. I want them to feel like they can come in and have a chat. Um, I'm scaling at the minute, so I'm hoping to get to the point to balance things out to be able to outsource, which I'm really looking forward to, which I think will give a bit more balance. And then I feel like I see people quite. I have quite a few social times during the week, which is in my morning walk, I might meet up with a friend. I do the co-working sessions, which are really sociable. My husband works from home on a Friday, which is nice and sociable, although he's a bit noisy. And I have a friend who comes round to my house on Thursday and works. So I feel like I see a lot of people now, whereas before when I was a teacher, I would go to work constantly. Yes, see people, but I didn't really feel like I was able to connect with people properly. Whereas now I feel like I see the people who I want to see, and I've definitely got more balance.
Amazing. How old are your children actually, out of interest?
10, 12, and 14.
Right. So they're not really, really young, but they're still not quite capable of like off you go and just
They're
do
pretty
what you want.
independent. They don't need me to collect them from school unless, someone's got a tummy ache like today. Um, so no, they don't need me so much. But then as soon as I close my laptop, do the dinner, and then it's driving them to football and to drama and to cadets. And so as soon as I finish, it's straight into mum mode and busy, busy, busy being an Uber driver with no pay.
It's amazing to me because you look like you're about 25, so I'm astonished to hear that.
Next week I'm 45.
Oh my God. Well, we'll discuss skincare tips after we're finished. And finally, we have the last question. What advice would you give to somebody considering virtual assistants as a career?
Definitely read everything on your website, read everything in the VA Handbookers website, Facebook group, I mean, and chat to other VAs. I met with another VA before I started anything, and she'd said that she was fully booked and had associates within 18 months. And I was like, wow, if I could just get one or two clients, that would be amazing. But she really gave me the confidence. She just said, just do it, just try. So I meet other VAs. I guess watching these videos is pretty useful. That's a bit like meeting other VAs and shout about it to everybody. I put a post out on my own socials saying, I'm thinking about being a VA. Which logo do you like? And it was based on that post that I booked my first client. So I hadn't even launched yet. So she signed up on the Friday. I quickly built a website and got my insurance and everything in place so that when we kicked off on the Monday, it was good to go. So tell everybody, tell the hairdresser, tell, people in the street that this is what you do and how you help people. Keep building your connections, so in real life, but also in LinkedIn, if that's your preferred platform. put money aside for your tax straight away, and join local business groups, business networking groups as well. Just do it.
Yeah, advice. Just do it. Just go for it. Brilliant advice. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure interviewing you today. Thank you very much for agreeing to do this with me.
Thank you.